Sometimes there are things you can't control and you just got to deal with them. First thing I want to talk about is a change in YouTube's monetization policy. I hit my 10,000 views in December, which now apparently means absolutely nothing to YouTube. I found this waiting for me yesterday when I checked my channel status, and this is kind of the impetus for the serious topic. Sometimes you can't do anything about something, you just got to accept it. I can't do anything about YouTube's policy. It makes sense for them because this new policy eliminates the need for them to check hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of YouTubers. And it doesn't make any difference to the advertisers because they're paying per view. It doesn't really matter what channel their ad runs on. So if their ad doesn't run on my channel, it runs on someone else's. And then all the targeting and everything works the same. So for channels like mine that are small, it just takes it off YouTube's to-do list, and they're then able to tell their advertisers that, how they check all the channels. So I understand it. I just don't like it. And there's nothing I can do about it. So I gotta accept it. The concept of having to just put up with things, deal with things, accept things as they come, there is a key component to that makes it work. And that component is understanding the difference between things you can change and things you can't change. And that's a vital difference. Where things are not the way they should be, there is trying to make a change is a good thing. But sometimes there's things you can't change, and you just have to deal with it. So the idea of accepting what you can't change, that's not original with me. It's within the 12-step program. It's part of the Serenity Prayer that goes something to the effect of, grant me the courage to change what I can, the patience to accept what I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's kind of the wraparound thought for this blog. I said, you got to deal with it. Sometimes you got to deal with things. Sometimes you got to deal with things you can't change. Sometimes you've got to accept things the way they are because they're outside your ability and your power to make a change. Things like the weather, things like the past election. You can work to change in the future, but you can't change the past. Some things you've got to deal with and accept. But some things ought to be changed, and the question becomes, are you brave enough to try to make the change? Are you concerned enough to try to make the change? Are you willing to do what has to be done to try to see a better situation created? So that's all. Some things you got to deal with, some things you ought to change. The question is, do you know the difference between the two? And when you find something that ought to be changed, are you willing to make the change?